On Flashback tonight, the days when you'd hook up your home computer to the family TV and log video games or load them using a cassette. The Commodore 64 is still the biggest selling computer of all time, but compared with today's machines, lacking a bit of grunt.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
It was the computer to have.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
It was the 80s computer that caused people to randomly touch their temples. IT teacher and video games historian Marcus Schmerl still has the Commodore 64 he bought as a kid. Its specs a little underwhelming in 2021.
64 kilobytes of RAM, which is approximately 120,000 times less than what an average computer might have these days.
But in the 80s, everyone wanted one.
Mum, Dad, I need a Commodore.
And with Lawsy flogging them, sales boomed.
The Commodore 64 Family Pack is the best way I know to introduce your family to the world of the future.
They continually reinvented what they sold with the machine, and there were kids packs, educational packs, game packs, home office packs, so they tapped into a lot of markets.
Mum, we need a Commodore.
But for kids, they were all about the games, loaded using a cassette.
Very much like the tapes that you'd use for example, recording music. They're identical tapes, but the information on them is not music, it's programs or it's computer data.
They could take 20 minutes to fire up.
So I would take the BMX down to the corner shop, get my 20 cents of lollies and come back, and more often than not, I'd have to reload the game.
Another option while you waited was to go to the Comtech Computer Fair at Morfettville to check out the latest gadgets.
There's even a display of exercises for the computer operators who are health fanatics.
And hear bold predictions about the future.
We're now in the stage where we can almost make the computer as common as the telephone in the office, and I'm sure that's where it'll end up, where just about every office will have a computer as a standard piece of equipment.
You might have even come home with a floppy disk for your Commodore.
You can hold a great deal of information on a floppy disk and you can recall it very, very quickly if you want to, but when you have a floppy disk system, you have to pay a fair amount of money for it, and so if you're economy-minded, you'll probably go over to the cassette.
Might bust it out tonight and play a few games.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
There you go. Now from Nick.